pro-male collective has been growing slowly. I want to reiterate some things, some really important things. We've been on other subreddits on Reddit, and we have been accused as a collective of brigading, which means, I guess, we work together, whatever. We've been accused of, someone compared us to the People's Judean Front, which is like a reference to Monty Python, and I think I can't remember what movie, the one where Jesus is executed. So we're basically sectarian elitists or whatever. And the same people have stated things like, "Oh, well, we've been doing this for 10 years," which is a red flag, and it doesn't mean anything. It's not a good sign to say that they've been doing this for 10 years, and that's why they're booting us out of their subreddit, which is just full of concern trolling and equivocation. There's this idea that gets repeated over and over again. Oh, you'll never change anything. Even though change is constant in the universe, what matters is the direction the change is heading. Things either get better or they get worse, and for men, they've been getting worse. So this fucking bullshit statement that things can't get better is just bullshit, because they have changed. They've gotten worse. So what kind of change do we want to see? That's really the question. Do we want positive change for men or negative change for men? And I think a lot of the problem with these MRAs, or not just MRAs, but just men in general, whether they call themselves MRAs or MGTOWs or whatever, is that they just don't make themselves relevant. They don't insert themselves into contemporary issues, and they don't maintain their frame of reference. They sure are repetitive, and repetitiveness is the key, but they just do it in all the wrong ways. They create their own echo chambers, which is ironic, because they'll accuse us, the pro-male collective, of being an echo chamber. Listen, you want an echo chamber. You want to be repetitive. You want to say the same thing over and over again in a slightly different way. That's how you get ideas out there. But you've got to put your ideas in other people's spaces, and you have to make yourself relevant. And that's what we're doing. And I think that's the problem with men in general, is that they're so fucking apathetic, and they want to make all sorts of excuses for why they don't want to do anything. They don't want to put themselves out there and talk to people in person, face to face. I've done that in so many different capacities, and don't get me wrong, it is tiring. Sometimes it feels like a Sisyphean task. You're just moving a boulder up a hill, but that's how things change. That's the only way things change. You have to just work at it, and over time, your ideas gain traction. So, this idea that there's nothing men can do. This is just an excuse for guys that want some sort of therapy. They really don't want to see any systemic change, or they'll tell themselves they do, but they really just don't care. Male genital mutilation is the perfect example. Like, women do not benefit from that. They don't really give a shit. They honestly don't. And I've even gotten, complete fucking normies just run-of-the-mill average Joes to admit on that point that it's true. There's like, women will never, they're not going to push back on that issue, really. They don't have a vested interest in that. They really don't. Women don't really care about dicks one way or another, whether they're long, fat, or, mutilated or not, or have an ugly scar on them. I mean, this is a men's rights issue. It's not about pleasing women or women's sexual preferences. It's a human rights issue that affects men. And we could have it, we could get it banned in our lifetime. I'm absolutely convinced of that. There's the push, and ultimately in the long run, the pushback is minimal. I know people are going to blame religion and all this, but I've been over this over and over again. I mean, FGM is banned in all developed countries, so this is just a cop-out. This is a complete cop-out. We need to just continue doing what we're doing. My channel's been growing. We've been growing slowly, and we're attracting new people. Like I said, and I'll repeat this, and I'll repeat that I'm repeating this. We need to repeat ourselves, but we just need to do it in the right way. We need to do it in a way that holds our frame of reference, and we need to hijack other spaces and other issues and make ourselves relevant. We have to be aggressive. Men are too passive. And this accusation, brigading, or like, that's how shit gets done, is through collectivism. I can't believe men can be so fucking goddamn stupid sometimes. Like, I really cannot relate to this regressive mentality. That's complaining, that's activism. Activism is like collectivism, man. That's like complaining about stuff. No, what we need to do is complain about the complainers. You're not gonna stop feminism. You can't. What are you gonna do? You're gonna stop women getting together to advocate for things that they care about? How? This is just so idiotic. We need to take the offensive, and this is what we're doing, and we just have to do it and do it over and over again, stubbornly. And we have to expect criticism. That's another thing. Is like, I think I get this impression that guys just think, you put your ideas out there, and people are like, oh yeah, okay, no, I agree. It's like this is a war of attrition. Every social movement is a war of attrition. It's not like, there's this idea that, we need numbers where, we're not ready to say this or do that. The numbers come later. Most social movements start off very slow and small and gradual, and then suddenly they expand. So there's this whole idea that we're not ready to do this, or we don't have enough people. That sign the petition campaign we're still doing is something easy to do. It's really easy to get people to just sign a petition. That's why I was so excited and so disappointed by the whole Iceland debacle. I don't know why activists just they didn't hop on that shit. But it won't work. It doesn't fucking matter that it doesn't work. It's like you're not. It's not. Movements are a string of defeats that eventually result in a victory. It's the point is to just get our ideas out there. I really tried organizing with people on this this Iceland campaign to make us relevant on the world stage, quite literally. And very few people seem to be interested. It's like, oh, well, it's not the right time. There is no fucking right goddamn fucking time. I mean, if it was gonna fail anyway, just you have to register and put your your lack of your disapproval, your lack of consent out there. You've got to put that out there. You have to resist. You have to let people know, like, no, this is wrong. We do not agree with this. It doesn't matter. You know, this is going to be an uphill battle, and we need to make ourselves relevant, politically relevant, at every opportunity we can. I mean, we just have to be aggressive about it, and we you know, just expect resistance. This is what happens in politics. People will fundamentally disagree with you. It's a war of attrition. You win people over to your cause one by one through the right ideas and action and collective action. It's quite literally a struggle. It's a political struggle. This is what we are waging. Anyway, our Reddit is growing, and you know, people on the others, we're distancing ourselves from the other subreddits. I mean, they're, for the most part, they're utterly useless, and you know, but I'm glad that they're paying attention to us. You know, we have to have our own brand and differentiate ourselves, and we're doing that very well. So yeah, there'll be further updates in the future. I'm keeping people posted. I'll put a link again to the Reddit in the description bar below. That's all. Thank you.